Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel where we are back with a live stream and lineup reaction most importantly. And of course, I think a lot of us got a lot of the team news today quite early. I think we all saw the leaks, etc. It's an interesting starting 11 going into the clash this afternoon. We will of course discuss that. Before that, can you guys actually hear me alright though? That's probably an important thing to check for the stream. Can you guys actually hear me alright? Are we coming through okay? And also we have, of course we do, a gifted membership from David. Thank you very much. That is greatly appreciated, my friend. I hope you've been having a good weekend. And thank you very much for the donation. Or the gifted membership, I should say. Who did it go to? Heart Zapper. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Make sure to say thank you. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing in the chat? How are we feeling about this game? How are we feeling about this starting 11? I do just quickly need to double check what Coventry's 11 is, because I haven't actually changed this yet from the other day. So let me just quickly check that. In terms of the United 11, of course, we know the big news. Oh, look at that. We got the Coventry lineup exactly right in the stream the other day. Lovely. In terms of the Manchester United team news, Casemiro at centre-back, we assume. It's what we've been told, that, you know, last minute we had to experiment with him alongside Harry Maguire. I would assume he's now going to play there. Could McTominay have played centre-back? Maybe. We've seen him play there for Scotland before. Could that have been a shout? Interesting thing to discuss at some point, perhaps during the stream. But this is the lineup for this afternoon's clash. I guess the big question, Casemiro at centre-back alongside Harry Maguire. How do we feel? How do we feel about that? I'm not sure what my immediate reaction is. Of course, we can't really be critical of Ten Hag because there's not really any other option, right? But are you guys nervous with that as a pairing, or do you think we'll be okay? Are you nervous the fact that, you know, it's an FA Cup semi-final in general? How are we feeling? You're panicking now? Yeah. Hello, AJ. How are you feeling about the game with this lineup? The front three, I expected it. I was hoping someone like Ahmad or Anthony would be given an opportunity from the right-hand side. But I always thought if we were being realistic, Ten Hag would go his strongest 11, which is Garnacho right wing, Rashford left wing, Højlund up front. And again, in midfield, there's not really any other options. Kobbie Mainoo had to start. Bruno Fernandes feels like he has to start. And then Scott McTominay, it was going to be him, Eriksen, or Amrabat. Amrabat's injured. So it was McTominay or Eriksen. In that situation, you go for McTominay. So I don't actually know that there is too much surprise in the 11 considering the injuries, which is just bonkers because Casemiro is starting at centre-back and we're saying there's not too much surprise there. The talking point on Maguire and Casemiro is, you know, you would expect this to be a game where at times we're going to have the ball because we do have superior quality to the opposition. So I would expect us to have some spells of dominance. The question you get asked though when you dominate the ball is when you lose it, how well can you transition and how well can you defend the space? Maguire and Casemiro is really concerning on that front. Really, really concerning. If you think United's typical shape is something like, you know, one centre-back in the middle, a full-back's going to tuck in, then the other centre-back plays wider, the idea of Casemiro or Maguire channel defending is terrifying. Before that, we do have a donation from the man himself, Ali. Thank you very much, my friend, with the $10 saying, "Good morning, AJ, and this wonderful community. Hope you all have a great day. Casemiro played as a centre-back once last season, and he was solid." Can anyone remember what game that was last season? I can't particularly remember. But thank you very much for the donation, my friend. I hope you've been having a good weekend, had a good week. Hope the family as well. And thanks for the donation. Guys, you are already doing it. Turn the chat green. It was the Burnley game? I can't remember it that well for some reason. I can't remember that well. I think it was an FA Cup game, sorry, after the World Cup. I might need to go back and watch that at some point, depending on how Casemiro plays today. I might need to watch that game back. Casemiro was a different player last season. That's also a fair point, of course. Absolutely. But thank you very much for the donation, my friend. Mount, Amrabat and Kumbwala are all injured, unfortunately. Yes. I think Casemiro in centre-back should be what turns out to be a good thing for him. Having all of the game in front of him just might be good for him, especially because his major problem has been recovery. I think on the ball, we're going to see an improved Casemiro in this game. Because I think as he's playing centre-back, he won't feel as though he is responsible for being the one to be the main progressive for the side. You know, in midfield, there is that emphasis for the midfield to get on the ball and progress it. At centre-back, you don't have it to the same extent. So I'm hoping that it simplifies Casemiro's game on the ball and that he just kind of has a typical safe passing, side to side, occasional long ball, occasional pass into midfield. On the ball, with passing, I think we'll see an improvement. I also think we'll see an improvement because, as you've alluded to there, everything should be in front of him. You know, when he receives in midfield like this, from the goalkeeper or perhaps from one of the centre-backs, when he receives this ball, when he has someone, you know, pressing from behind, I find that he really struggles. He hasn't scanned particularly well this season. Press resistance is not something he possesses. He doesn't play on the half-turn, anything like that. So it's been a problem all season long. When he plays here, though, play is in front of him. So as he receives this ball, everything should be in front, and I think that will help him. I think almost today, I might be completely wrong with this, but I feel the centre-back position might showcase what his actual understanding of the game really is. This is an intelligent guy. Despite his errors this season and the poor performances, he understands football. You know, he is aware of where the opposition are a lot of the time. He does read the game largely quite well, I would say. So I do think having a lot of things in front of him is going to make things simpler for him. Also, he shouldn't have to cover as much ground, right? Because he shouldn't be as box-to-box in the midfield. He should have less space to cover. So again, hopefully that will help him. I do question, or I do doubt, I should say, that this will be a game where suddenly we see a high line, you know, with Maguire and Casemiro in the defence. I think that would be unlikely, perhaps, to anticipate that. We could see it, but I think it's unlikely. But on the ball, I do think it suits Casemiro. An interesting question, and my brother asked me this morning. What way round will Maguire and Casemiro play? It's an interesting question. I want to see Casemiro at centre-back for a long time. Yeah, I think on the ball, it will be really good for him. I'm worried about him out of possession a little bit. Dalot can play in the back three with Maguire and Wan-Bissaka. And Casemiro can step into midfield like Stones, maybe. I like the shout. I like the shout a lot, actually. Let's quickly explore that. Back four. Initially, when you play out from the back, you know, from the goalkeeper. Fair enough. As we move further forward, do we see Casemiro steps in alongside Kobe, Dalot and Wan-Bissaka hold position like that? This is a real possibility. That's a real possibility, and you would hope that that would improve United's ability to defend a transition, having Dalot and Wan-Bissaka in the wide spaces rather than one of Casemiro or Maguire. I really like that idea. I'd play Wan-Bissaka at right back and have Dalot inverting from left back. This way, having Casemiro at left centre back and having him and Wan-Bissaka defending the channels would be better than other options. Yeah, I think it's a fair point. I would have played Anthony left back, Wan-Bissaka right back, and Maguire and Dalot centre back. There's a lot of different options which Ten Hag could have gone for in this game. None of them ideal. I think that's fair to say. None of them are ideal options, but Ten Hag, you know, at least it's a good thing he had options, right? Right? Maybe. I'll tell you one positive. This man here, Kobbie Mainoo. Unless Ten Hag does something really weird tactically, Kobbie Mainoo should be fairly deep receiving the ball. Now again, you know, I don't think he's a 6 in the long term. I don't think it's his best position. But for this game, we should see Kobbie getting touches. And I tell you what, when that happens, we tend to play better football. So that's a good sign. And I think that'll be useful for us. Bruno Fernandes dropping deep. Keep an eye on that in this game. You know, I don't think McTominay will do it that regularly. Maybe he will. But I would not be surprised at all to see Bruno Fernandes regularly rotating a little bit deeper. I can see it happening. My concern is actually maybe further up the pitch. You know, Rashford, again, is lacking support. He doesn't have that Mason Mount runner with him. He doesn't have the left-back overlapping and really helping him out. Garnacho on the other side, it's going to be a different dynamic for him, I would expect, unless Dalot does invert into midfield. But perhaps Garnacho could become isolated as well. And Højlund as well. Can we create chances for him? I'm not sure. I don't think this starting 11 has the natural dynamics which we've developed at times this season. Of course, it's hard to criticise too much because, let's be honest, no one expected this 11 at the start of the season, right? It's very obscure. It is a bit jumbled up. But it's just not ideal. I wouldn't expect beautiful, like Matt said there, beautiful interplay and interchanging passes and quick patterns of play. I wouldn't expect, you know, quick two-touch football through the pitch. I don't think it's likely. Which is disappointing. I'm curious about Coventry's approach too. Yeah, I'll come on to that shortly if you like. But yeah, I do have that concern with this side. I do have that concern. Also, if Coventry were to drop deep, do we have the ability to break them down is something else I would question about this side. I'm not too sure. How do you guys feel about it? Personally, I want to see Ten Hag get weird with it. A 3-4-3. McTominay and Casemiro forming a back three. Wan-Bissaka at right wing back. Dalot at left wing back. We've been awful lately, so it can't be any worse. I respect that. Crucially, AJ, why does Ten Hag always go long when Højlund is on the field and then keep the ball on the ground when he's subbed out? I still can't understand why. Help me out, please. I think it might be just a classic misprofiling of a player. Seeing that he's, well over 6 foot tall, big, strong, powerful player, I think we all lazily kind of go, well, he's a target man then, right? So we can go long to him. Whereas actually, if you look at it properly, we've all seen that he's much better when the ball is on the ground, the ball is at his feet, and he can link the play in that way. So I do wonder if at times it is almost just a lazy approach to the game. West Ham done something very similar last season with Gianluca Scamacca. They saw that he was 6'7" and assumed that he was a target man. It wasn't the case. He's a player who wants to ball into his feet, and suddenly you see a completely different footballer, someone who is levels clear of that. So I wonder if it is simply misprofiling from Rasmus Højlund. Misprofiling. I do have a question with the United approach, and I don't necessarily have the answer to this question, but it's also not rhetorical. So, this season, and I spoke about this the other day, last week, I've had the feeling that Ten Hag has gone for an approach of stretching us tactically, removing tactical security from the side, with the idea of really exposing this United team, physically, technically, tactically, mentally, exposing the players to harsh environments, trial of fire, to find out which players can do it and which players can't do it moving forward. That has felt like Ten Hag's idea this season, with the idea of we'll be better next season. Is a cup competition, ultimately the last thing we've got to play for, a game where tactically he kind of shores us up a little bit? Do we see a return to more tactical security in this game because it's a cup? 1 second, I just quickly need to send a message. Do you think that's an approach we could see? Because what I keep saying, again, I've said it the last couple of weeks, is perhaps Ten Hag is building for the long term. Perhaps that has been his whole idea. But in the Cup, it's very, very different. He will be aware that winning the FA Cup could be a brilliant way for him to keep his job next season. I wonder if this game he goes for a bit more tactical security. I'm not necessarily saying suddenly we play a super high line, but I wonder if our players are a little bit closer to each other. We're a little bit more compact. Not sure, I might be a mile off it. I might be completely wrong. Did we see it in the other cup games? That's what I was trying to recall. And then I thought, Liverpool, probably not. Him starting, McTominay tells me we're playing chaotic ball once again. To be honest, him playing McTominay tells me the truth. We have no one available, really. The other option was Christian Eriksen, who physically we've seen he's just not there this season at all. I recall when he said that, but I feel he wouldn't be risking his job to prove his players' ineptitude. But if that's been the plan, then he has to manage this game right. I don't think it's a case of like proving what his players are bad at. It's about almost figuring out which ones he feels are good enough for next season. Like Dalot, for example. 12 months ago, I was perhaps a little bit unsure. This season, he's been exposed tactically a little bit, and he's really delivered. Physically, technically, tactically, mentally, he's delivered. And he's a player who I would go, yeah, next season, absolutely. He's the one we need at right back. I wonder if it's that sort of approach. Do you think some of the academy players could feature, seeing as there is 4 or 5 of them? I haven't actually had a look at the bench yet, I will be honest. Could someone list it in the chat? McTominay gives us the height defending set pieces. Yeah, we spoke about it on the stream the other day. Coventry are quite a tall side. They are quite tall. True, I get that part better. Yeah, I wonder if that's been the approach. Maybe, not sure. Maybe it changes in this game. I want to see Eriksen as a 10 like the days of Spurs, and Bruno as an 8 deep with Kobbie Mainoo. Interesting quote from Erik ten Hag yesterday afternoon, I believe it was. He said once in the 18 months since he has been at United, he only once, one game, he has been able to choose the team that he wants. He hasn't been impacted by injury. In that game, Eriksen played as a 10 with Bruno right wing. If you remember, we also done that in pre-season, Mount in the 10, Bruno right wing. Was that always the long-term plan with the signing of Mason Mount? I'm not too sure. We've kind of had that discussion briefly in Discord. I do want to get back to it. If you want to join the Discord, by the way, there will be a link in the description, or hopefully someone can put it in the chat. But yeah, check it out. Also, while you're here, leave a like on the stream. How many likes are we on at the moment? 24. Those are rookie numbers, guys. We can have way more likes than that. 24 likes. It's an FA Cup semi-final. We're playing at Wembley. This is the highlight of our season so far. We can have more likes than that. Yeah, there you go. Mark has linked it in the chat to Discord. Make sure to go check it out. Completely free to join. Get involved. We have some really good football chats in there. Mark, thank you very much. I would have went Bruno and Kobbie Mainoo as a proper double pivot. To be honest, I think there's every possibility that that's happened. That Ten Hag has done that. Because, you know, it's rare that McTominay plays deep under Erik Ten Hag these days. So it could be this. It could very much be this. I would not be at all surprised. DJ Nature, good to have you in the chat, my friend. How are you feeling going into the game? How are you feeling? Just reading up in the chat. How's it going, AJ? Not bad at all. Thank you very much. Had a pretty good weekend. Nice, relaxing one. Ready to go again. Let's see if United keep me in a relaxed mood or whether they switch it up a little bit, shall we say. Hopefully they keep me nice and relaxed. We cruise to a 3-0 win. That'd be lovely. That'd be lovely. Would love Amas or Wheatley debut today. It's really possible. It's really possible. Someone put our bench in the chat earlier. You can see the first team is there. There's not many of them. We're a fullback injury away from someone like Amas coming into the side, so we could definitely do it. United about to stress me out as per usual for the weekend. Yeah, it's kind of their job at the moment. It feels like that way anyway. I'm a little bit afraid of today's game, but I think we will win. I want United to be ruthless, but I doubt we will do that. Quick talk about Coventry. Why not? Let's have a quick talk about it. Have I got my notes near me? I have. Perfect. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. 13th different centre-back duo. Did I say 28th different back four this season? Hard to see consistency with that. Anyway, let's talk about Coventry. Coventry are a side who had, to be honest, a pretty terrible start to the season. Last year they got to the playoffs final, lost on penalties to Luton. And this year they struggled to recover at the start of the season. They were playing a back five formation. They would throw their wing-backs forward. And to be honest, they struggled because the wing-backs weren't really producing going forward, but they were also leaving them open at the other end, and they were conceding a lot of goals and struggling to play good football. Since then, they have changed to this 4-2-3-1 formation, which has shored them up at the back. Rather than wing-backs, it's been full-backs. More responsibility to defend space rather than get forward and attack. And I think that has seen them improving. I think that has been a good thing for them. They have shored up a lot. In terms of their overall defensive approach, they'll switch it up. Sometimes they can be quite passive in a sort of 4-2-3-1 shape like this. Now, the reason I call this passive is because, one, the intensity of the players, but also the inability to match the opposition. So say if United in this game do build in a 2-4 shape like this, right? You can see Coventry have 4 players here applying pressure. We've got 6 players playing around it. So this is why Coventry can be a little bit passive, because they don't put enough men forward to press, and they struggle with that. What they will sometimes do, though, out of possession, in the games where they want to be a bit bolder, a bit braver, and engage a little bit higher, what they will do is move to more of a 4-1-4-1. Of course, this still leaves them one man down, but what they will do in this sort of shape is basically try and force the opposition to play one way. So Sims up front will curve his run to force the opposition to go whichever way he wants, basically. And then once they go that way, they do have the ability to lock on man-to-man in these areas. This is when they are more intense, I would say. But having said that, at the same time, not the most intense pressure you're ever going to see. I dare say a stage or two in the game, they might try it to kind of trouble United a little bit. But eventually, I think they will kind of drop back into more of a 4-2-3-1. I think they'll be passive. And I think we're going to see United having a decent amount of the ball, I would hope. Kind of highlighted by the fact that in recent weeks, this guy on the right wing, I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce his name, but he's more of a fullback. That kind of shows the perhaps defensive approach they might take in this game. Again, from here, their aim, though, is to force you to one side of the pitch, crowd that side of the pitch, use the touchline as a defender, and try and win the ball from there. So let's say when Maguire's got the ball, when Casemiro's got the ball, in this sort of area, I don't think they're going to be overly intense in these areas. I think they'll be quite compact in their middle shape. What they'll essentially want us to do is go wide like this, and then they're going to look to squeeze over. Make it a mini, like, rondo drill almost, on that side of the pitch. And, you know, I might be able to actually quickly grab a tool for this. Kind of box it off like this. Turn it into, like, mini games of football. You can see here. So rather than 11v11 or 10v10, they're making it a 5v5 in this side of the pitch. That tends to be their approach, and it works pretty well. And it has seen their defence improving. So for United, one thing they will need in this game is good quality wide play. Marcus Rashford, Garnacho, I'm looking at you guys. But of course, importantly, we actually have to get the ball to them in the first place. If we can do that, I think we can really trouble them. I think If we can be successful in this first phase here, which, you know, we're looking at Cobby for that. We're looking at perhaps Casemiro in defence, Bruno Fernandes, and also Dallo, those sorts of players. If we can be successful in these areas, 1v1 up against the fullbacks, I think we can get at them. I think we can hurt them. West Brom hurt them in this area earlier in the season. I think United can do the same. Bidwell, for example, a left back. I don't want to be disrespectful. He's just not the best left back in the world you're ever going to see. Garnacho should be able to beat him perhaps 2 to 3 times a game. Sorry, he should be able to get past him. You would hope. Same for Rashford on the other side. You would hope 2, maybe 3 times he's going to beat his fullback. If United do that, it's then all about execution in the final third. If we can get into these areas, can we then create something? Who knows? Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see. We've seen ups of United this season where we're really good creatively in the final third. We score a lot of goals. And then we've seen other games where Højlund stands there bored the whole game because no one's passing to him. So, I don't know. It's a bit of a difficult one to predict. But I think United do have the potential to move the ball forward through this side. The other interesting thing is the shape which United will use. Like someone said earlier, do we see that idea of Casemiro stepping in to midfield? If we were to do something like this, there's potential for overloads in quite a few areas. There's the overload in this first phase, up against a 3-1 shape, but also, importantly, the overload in this midfield shape here. We might be able to get at them because Dallo is spare. We might be able to hurt them in this sort of area of the pitch. So something I would look for, if United use this shape, which is a big if we use this shape and go one way like this, as Coventry are kind of coming over to get towards us, having Dallo, or when the ball's on the other side, Wan-Bissaka spare, is so much better. It gives us a real opportunity to get him in space, play from there, because this is where you see the overload. As the ball goes to Dallo, Wright has to come across, perhaps O'Hare as well. Again, we're finding an overload, we're finding a spare man. It might be Cobby free, or it might be McTominay, or it might be Bruno. There's opportunities to manipulate and overload this midfield area. There's a real potential for United to do this. Only, of course, if technically we're good on the ball. If we have one of those days where we cannon it forward every 3 seconds, probably not, and we're going to play horribly. But if we do see a patient approach, your guess is as good as mine, but if we do see a patient approach, there is really the potential to hurt this Coventry side. And it's why I would say I'm quite confident coming into the game. Because I just feel that tactically we don't know what will happen, right? I just feel that we've got the better players, the superior technical ability of our side compared to theirs. Of course, apologies, didn't mean to do that. Of course, it goes a long way, the technical ability. Tactics are still important. But it just feels to me that at the end of the day, our pure individual quality should be enough. It should be enough. We could play horribly for 90 minutes. The 11 on the pitch is better than theirs, and I think it will show in key moments. You know, we're looking at Rashford, we're looking at Bruno, we're looking at Garnacho in particular, their quality. Callum, thank you very much for the gifted membership. Who did it go to? Alexander Pitt, I believe he was in the chat a minute ago as well. Love yourself. Callum, thank you very much, guys. Make sure to spam some love hearts in the chat to say thank you to Callum, the Pro Club's legend. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. I'm bricking it today. My confidence in United has dwindled in recent weeks. Yeah, I understand that. Guys, make sure to spam some love hearts in the chat, please, and thank you. Where was the comment I was trying to read? Josh, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Great to have you in the chat. Hope you had a good week away, my friend. How are you feeling about the game? Coventry have an average of 13 shots per 90 in the Championship as well. Considering how many shots we concede, I'm a little bit worried. Yeah, we'll concede shots. We will. We'll face shots. Are Coventry going to produce quality shots? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, they will create chances. It's almost guaranteed against us. Is Kambala injured? Yes, Kambala is injured. Mason Mount has picked up a new injury, and Amrabat is also injured as well. We do have McTominay back in the starting 11 though. So that's something at least. I am not sure we're going to the final. I wouldn't go as far as saying I'm sure, but I'm reasonably confident. By the way, guys, could we get some more likes on the stream? It would be greatly appreciated if we could. It really helps kind of push the stream to other people. So if you could, it'd be greatly appreciated. It's really easy to do. Just click under the video, click like or tap it, anything. Please. It'd be really appreciated. Also, subscribe and get notifications on because I will be analysing this game today. There will be a video out tonight around 8 PM UK time. So again, I recommend it. I recommend you tuning into the channel. We're going all the way for real. I've got a feeling we win the FA Cup this year. I've got a feeling, but I'm not too sure. And Alex, by the way, has returned the favour with another gifted membership. Alex, thank you very much. That is greatly appreciated. That's 3 different people already gifted memberships to random people. So generosity of one individual helping out other people. Alex, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated, guys. Make sure to spam some love hearts in the chat to say thank you. City in the final, though. Yeah, I just got a feeling. Matt, why you got to do me like that, mate? Who is it gifted to? Pronounce it right now. I can't. Matt, I can't believe you've done that to me. I think Eriksen would be good in this game for his vision from deep. Problem is he doesn't have the legs. It'll be interesting if we see a game where over time United dominate the ball, Coventry kind of sit deeper. Then yeah, I think Eriksen is a sort of player which has an impact to make in this game. 60 minutes. He was on the bench, right, Eriksen? I'm pretty sure. Apologies if I'm wrong, but yeah, he is the sort of player who could make an impact from the bench. Absolutely. I agree, Eriksen deserves more minutes after his performance and playmaking, particularly against Liverpool. Again, he's got a role to play in this game, I do feel. Maybe Ahmad coming in sharp at the 10. I'd be amazed if we don't see Ahmad or Anthony in this game. One of them is surely playing this football match because, like, this 11... they cannot all play 90 minutes. And should we go beyond that, 120, they're not all going to play the full game. So we are going to see subs, and our bench is limited. So we are going to see Ahmad or Anthony. We probably will see Eriksen. One of the youth players? I'd like to think so. Do you think we beat City in the final? If we were to get there, I've got a feeling we do. I don't know why. I've got a feeling we beat Coventry today, and then we go and beat the scum. Got a feeling. Which scum? City, just to clarify. There's a few of them. Hope to see a youth player cameo. Yeah, it'd be nice to see. A deeper line and a worse keeper could give Anthony a chance to curl one in for once. Yeah, he might need to put a bit more pace on the ball than what he normally does, but yeah. You think both will play, and also Eriksen for Kobbie Mainoo? Yeah, but eyes on Mainoo today, by the way. Absolutely eyes on Mainoo. We know what he's done this season. He's been absolutely phenomenal. Incredible player all season long. Probably the shining light of our season. I love him. Big game today at Wembley, FA Cup semi-final. One of the biggest games of his career so far. Right up there for sure. Go and make an impact. Play your normal game. Do what you normally do. Perhaps sharpen up a little bit on what we've seen in recent weeks. Although hopefully having the week off will help him. But yeah, get some rest. In the past 7 days, hopefully we see a fresh Kobbie Mainoo in a deeper role. Not that I think it's his best position for the long term, but get him in a deeper role so he's on the ball. So he is on the ball. Get Kobbie Mainoo impacting this game. These areas, get him on the ball, playing forward, showing press resistance, a little bit of pause and managing the tempo. Kobbie Mainoo, I believe in you, mate. If we score early on, yeah, that could be a big thing. That could be a big thing if we were to score early. If we were to score in the first 20 minutes, it really changes the idea of the game because Coventry have in their mind, do we stay compact and secure to keep it tight at 1-0 for as long as possible? Or do we need to open up and come on to United a little bit more? But that's going to give us space to attack in transition with Rashford, Højlund, Garnacho, Bruno. Difficult one for Coventry. A goal in the first 20 minutes would be so good for United. Having said that, I think if we were to score early, a really important thing for us to do would be to keep the tempo up. We can't have a score early and then relax and kind of ease off it a little bit. We've got to be on it. We've got to be on it. Coventry will be compact and wait for counters. I think they will have their moments where they try and press a little bit higher. I think they might sniff chances to do it. In general, I think the theme will be, yeah, they'll drop off a little bit. We've got to remember, though, by the way, Coventry are not a poor side by any means. Currently 8th place in the Championship, although it might have changed with the table yesterday. They're a good side. The Championship is a good league. This is not, you know, just some nobodies we're playing against. These are good players. You know, they're a good side. They're well set up, so it won't be easy. I think it would be silly of United fans to underestimate them. There's a reason they're in the Cup semi-final as well, right? Yes, they've had a reasonably fortunate run, but they've beat some good teams as well. So this game will not be easy for United, I don't think. To be honest, when do we make a game easy? We don't. So I don't expect an easy game for United today, but I do feel as though if we perform, if we turn up properly and we produce and we execute, we should have too much. We should have too much, because when it comes down to it, individually, you're looking at the two sets of players. Come on. Look at the quality in that front four. I know they haven't clicked this season, right? And we can talk about the balance of the team at times and things like that. Pure quality in that attacking setup, we have a lot. We have a lot. Do you guys think Rashford deserves a starting role, assuming the entire team is back from injury? That'll be difficult to say, to be honest, until we have everyone back. It depends what moment Rashford is in. I don't think anyone in this team, to be honest, is guaranteed a spot. I think Onana probably is. I think Kobbie Mainoo is probably guaranteed a spot. Dalot as well. Outside of that, I don't think anyone in this team should be guaranteed when everyone's fit. Because none of them have performed quite to the level that you need over the course of a, 50-game season. So they're all playing for places. This season, next season, absolutely. Højlund, even he, I don't think is guaranteed his spot. Not at all. I think he's had a good season. Let's make that really clear. I think he's had a good season. I don't know that he's done enough to guarantee his spot in the 11, though. You know, I could see situations where we would still rotate Rashford up front for a game or two here and there. I don't think anyone's guaranteed their spot in his team. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. It means there's competition, but also that we haven't performed well enough this season. But I think we already knew that. So yeah, Rashford is in a position, like Garnacho, like Højlund, like Bruno, like whoever, if they can score some goals from now till the end of the season and play well, they give themselves every opportunity of being a key man again moving forward. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rashford on his day scores and runs past fullbacks, but don't know if it's his day. That's the thing with Rashford. On his day, I still believe he's one of the best wingers in the world. I do just believe that. The question is, how often does his day come along? Not as often as we'd like, and that has to change. It does have to change. Hopefully it changes in the future, though, with a more settled structure, less injuries in the team, fingers crossed next season. We'll have to see when we get there. In terms of today, the job is quite simple for United. I think keep it fairly simple would be my thought process. We don't need to turn this to an end-to-end game. If we do, to be fair, we probably still win it because of our quality in transition. But my approach would be a slower, more controlled approach, a methodical approach. Don't give Coventry those moments to get the fans going and get into the game, suffocate them, bore them, tire them by getting them to move side to side defending. Then, as we move forward into the final third, it's about execution. We're looking at our wingers again. Can they produce the quality? Højlund, can you produce the quality? Bruno, a bit of creativity. Those are the important things. You think the transition, the front three, will work against a low block? I don't know that we get too many transition opportunities in this game unless Coventry come onto us. If Coventry sit deep, I think it will be quite difficult for us to obviously find those gaps and things like that. When is his day, brother? Hopefully today, right? If you're a United fan, you should want it to be Rashford's day every single game because he's quality. Again, I agree. His day does not come around often enough. Hopefully today is his day, and hopefully that sets him into some form. If you don't want Rashford in form, I'd question who you support. They'll most probably sit deep. Yeah, that would be my thought. It might be different if United were to go 1 or 2 up, perhaps. Then they'll come onto us a little bit more, opens up gaps, and then again we're looking at transition. It's why I think an early goal would be handy. Do you think Archie Gray will actually be signed? To be honest, I have no idea. I have no idea kind of what United's priority is right now in terms of what the club actually want to do. But I like him a lot. I would look at him. Bro, Rashford, one of the best wingers on his day. Are you kidding me? I'm actually not, which is quite an interesting take, but fair enough. We are okay to disagree with each other around here. I think Rashford is one of the best wingers in the world on his day, but I agree, his day isn't often enough. Should we get to score predictions? Because I don't think we've got too much else to talk about for this game. So I reckon we get to score predictions. I'm still unsure also how Casemiro is going to play in this game. Anyway, score prediction, my thoughts. 3-0 United. 3-0. I think Garnacho scores. Because I said the other day, whoever plays right wing will score. I can't remember who else I said on that stream. I think Højlund will score. I'm going to go Bruno, Garnacho, Højlund. What do you think our strategy should be during build-up? Long balls won't be ideal today. No, I would not reduce us to long balls in this game. Absolutely not. I would not reduce us to that. I think if we do that, you're opening up the opportunity for random moments, a loss of control. A loss of control is exactly what Coventry want in this game. They want to play in those moments. If we're sending the ball long and going to our forwards, can you win it in the air? Sometimes they will, obviously, and it might lead to a chance for us. But the second you lose it, you surrender control. Particularly if you don't get on the second ball, teams are running at us, it's a problem. So I would look to play the ball short from the back. That would be my approach. As usual, I'd probably go a 2-4 shape. I would be tempted to drop Bruno a little bit deeper for this game. Long term, I hate it, Bruno deep. But for this game, I could see it like this. McTominay a little bit higher. Should we need to go long? Something like that. Let's look at some score predictions. 3-1 to United, 2-1 United, 3-1, 3-2, 4-0, yes please. 3-1 because there's a mistake in us. Yeah, that's fair enough. 3-1, Casemiro concedes a penalty. Hopefully not. 3-1, goals from Rashford, McTominay and Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo goal would be lovely. David, thank you very much for the donation, saying 3-1, Højlund, Brace and Garnacho. A Højlund brace right now would be really, really well timed. That would be really nice for us. Thank you very much for the donation. Greatly appreciated as always. Yeah, a Højlund brace would be lovely. I'm going to sneeze and I don't want to. Heart Zapper, I'm going to ban you if you say that again, mate. I'm kidding. 3-1 seems likely. We're going to get to 2-0 in 30 minutes, then bottle it. With the funniest series of accidents. I'd appreciate it if that didn't happen, but who knows, it might. For his confidence, I want him to score. Yeah, I think it would be good for him. 2-1 with a honking set piece conceded. It's almost like you've watched United before. I'm talking absolutely criminal. I can't wait for it. Ali saying you never know what to get with, or what you're going to get with United these days. I will go with 2-1. How much emphasis do you guys put on performance today? Yeah, apologies for the dogs. How much emphasis is there on performance here? Is it a case of it's the cup, just go win? Or do you want to see a proper good performance? You know, if we win 1-0, 83rd minute, are you taking it and going, cool, win to the final? Or are you of the opinion, no disrespect, we're playing Coventry, we've got to go play football. And we've got to beat them convincingly. How are you feeling on that? Performance doesn't matter with that back four. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. There's an argument that, you know, two, if not three of that back four may not even be here next season, which is crazy. A win is a win. We've been asking for a good performance since playing Wolves in August. It's today the day we finally get one. Performance will be shaky. I have a feeling they will score from a cutback. I've got a feeling the start in particular. I see the start going one of two ways. It's either going to be super composed from us. You know, Coventry sit right off. Maguire's got 3 years on the ball to do what he wants, basically. Coventry sit deep, let us have it. It's calm, it's calm, it's calm. Or they're going to really come out of the traps, put us under a little bit of pressure. You know, send a couple of balls long up to Sims, up to right, challenge us in the air, and put us on the back foot. It's going to go one or two ways there. I'm not so sure which one it's going to be. Considering we don't have a centre-back, I won't be angry for conceding, but going forward, I want to see at least some control and service to Højlund. I think that's a big thing, yeah. Can we get the ball to Højlund? Can we create something for Højlund a little bit more in this game? Please and thank you, it'd be lovely. Remember, lads, United lowered themselves to the opposition. Would it change your opinion on Ten Hag if we lose? It would depend on the manner of the loss, obviously, always. If we were to lose today and deserve it, I'd find it so difficult to defend him. Again, I get the idea of, you know, it's about next season. I do understand that idea. I've spoke about it myself. A loss today, if we deserve to lose, would be unacceptable, though. And it would have him right there. Because you can say, well, even with this lineup, I don't mean to be rude. That's a quality. There's 11 good footballers on the pitch still there. You know, man for man, we are better than him at every single position. Every single position. Why play two wingers to get the look to getting behind? Yeah, I said in my stream on Friday, I would have liked to have seen someone like Ahmad, like Anthony, who wants the ball into their feet a little bit more and a little bit more creative and things like that. I'm not going to see it obviously now. Hopefully they get a chance at some point in the game. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen that change of balance. That looks like quite a direct front four, if you ask me. You know, McTominay's going to be crashing into the box. Rashford's going to be pretty direct. Same for Garnacho, Højlund as well. It's quite a forward-thinking attacking line. You know, Bruno deep as well. He's going to want to get the ball forward quite quickly. Going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting one. I think, though, for the stream, I think we're going to finish there because we need to go get set up to watch the game, right? Everyone's got somewhere to be to watch the game, so I think we should be preparing for that. Unless anyone has anything last minute, we will be wrapping up there. One thing I will say before the game, no matter what, don't let it ruin your mood. Okay, it's only Manchester United. At the end of the day, we're used to being bad at this point. Don't let it completely ruin your weekend. If it goes horribly wrong, if the worst thing happens today, do something to take your mind off it. I say this every week. Go watch a different match. You know, there's El Clasico tonight. Go watch a different match, play a game, see some family, some friends, do a Sudoku. I don't know. Just do something different to take your mind off it. Don't let it ruin your weekend. I think we're going to win 3-0. Before we leave, by the way, I do need to say thank you to Ali again for the $10 donation. You really can't blame Ten Hag for the loss. Yeah, it depends what manner of it. Especially if the players' heads go down. It is a matter who wants it the most. I like it. Ali, thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated the $10 again. Guys, spam some love hearts before you leave. And also, as Matt said there, get in a Discord. The match day chat will be, or is live, and it will be active. There will be a lot of people in there. Josh, I think I might at some point. So yeah, join the Discord. Get involved. Let people know your thoughts over there. It's free to join, so I recommend it. Ali, thank you very much for the donation. That is greatly appreciated, my friend. But yeah, I think we are going to wrap the stream up there. So thank you to everyone who has watched. Thank you to everyone who has liked. 88 people. Thank you for the donations, the new memberships, the gifted memberships, and everyone in the chat. And also those of you who sat there kind of quietly, lurking, not saying too much. I hope you have enjoyed it. Go get in the Discord. If not, I will see you tonight for analysis of this game. 3-0 United. Nice, calm, confident display, emphatic display. And we're going to secure ourselves a spot in the FA Cup final. That's the dream. It's what United are going to do. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you in the next one.